you stupid fool. Did you really think you gonna hit me? Huh? Bam, bam, bam! Over.
Let me get your, real quick, let me get your reaction to Ward versus Kovalev. How did you score the fight?
Great fight. Close fight. You know, I had Kovalev winning though. You know, it was a championship fight. You know, and I feel as though Andre Ward probably had to, you know what I mean, do a little bit more, you know, to take the belts from me. But all in all, great fight. Andre Ward showed great skill and heart. You know, Kovalev showed great boxing ability. You know, it was a great fight.
Absolutely. Who do you give the edge to in a rematch?
I have no idea. Both of them are very smart, you know, so I know both of them will come out and make the adjustments. It'll still be the same thing. Great fight.
Okay. Ward versus Kovalev. What did you think?
I thought it was a real close fight. I think Ward lost the first half of the fight, definitely won the last half of the fight. You take away the knockdown, very happy with the decision. That knockdown, that one punch makes a world of a difference, you know what I mean? If you give, but me personally, from a boxing standpoint, if you give Ward any of the first 6 rounds, which for sure, one of those rounds, I don't remember the first half of the fight. Ward dominated the last half. And, you know, everybody wants to say, oh, Cove, because of the knockdown and what he did at the beginning. If you take away that knockdown, it would have been a whole different perception on the fight.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So, I'm not completely disappointed with the decision. I wouldn't have been shocked if it was the same score going the other way.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have complained if they would have said it was Kovalev, if it would have been a draw, because it was just that close.
Exactly. It was that close. And you know the rematch, they just saying that the rematch is going to be even bigger than the regular.
And this propels both Kovalev and Ward's career now, because everybody wants to watch the rematch now.
Absolutely. Yeah. I wanted to see this fight, but I want to see the rematch more than I wanted to see this one.
Absolutely. All right, thanks for your time. Go ahead and give them your info, man.
Anthony Marcella. You can get me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Anthony Marcella, ANTHONY MARSELLN.
All right, good looking, man.
Follow me on Instagram at Daquan Mays. Follow me on my on Twitter at Daquan Mays. Well, I think it's Daquan_Mays, man. Stay posted, man. I got a lot coming up. I'm about to fight pretty soon. Check me out, man. You know.
Your reaction?
DONTAE'S Boxing Nation. To the Ward-Kovalev fight.
Yep.
Man, that's boxing, man. The decision was made.
How did you score it?
I scored my bills being paid. So, you know. I think.
So you're not complaining about the decision. You don't, because my thing is, I thought it could have went either way. I wouldn't call it a robbery.
Either way. I mean, a lot of people always, you know, the main thing they say, turn the volume down and watch it over again. I watched it one time out of excitement, like, you know, I was just watching it for the most part, trying to see how it was gonna go. A lot of blows thrown. I mean, it could have went either way, man. I'm not a judge. At the end of the day, the call was made.
So, hold on, Kofi. Hold on. I got to get your reaction, Kofi, to the Ward. Since everybody's talking about this Ward versus Kovalev situation, man. How did you score it, man? What did you think?
I mean, you got to reward the fight again. I watched it twice already, and from the way I saw it the first time, it was I was thinking more of Kovalev winning, but watching it again, the first 6 round, I think Ward won 2 rounds of that, the first 6 round, and the last 6 round. Some rounds could have been
swing rounds. There was
swing rounds. A lot of rounds were swing rounds. And I think I gave Ward about 5 rounds in the last 6 rounds. But you can argue with some of the rounds being very close. But you know, that's what it is.
And like I keep saying, everybody, you could say it could have went either way, but you can't call a fight that close a robbery because it could have went either way.
It could have went either way. To be fair, they say he's the champion. I mean, baby draw would have been fair, but you know, that's a game. That's boxing.
Yeah.
The judges see things different.
I agree with your assessment because, like you said, if you switch some of them swing rounds, it could have been a draw. It could have been Kovalev.
Kovalev could have been Ward.
Yeah.
Yep.
So who has the edge in a rematch?
I mean, rematch gonna be right now. Ward gonna have the edge on the rematch. Kovalev gonna be pressed to do more. he can't come back and do the same thing. He's gonna have to do something drastic.
Yeah, he's gonna have to commit more.
And now Ward, to his advantage, know what he's dealing with. So I think next time he came prepared, expecting that he's not gonna be easy. He's been there with him. When you fought somebody once, you fight somebody and you fight him again, you have something that you've seen already.
Yeah.
So you know how to look for it. And Ward is a smart fighter, and I think he can do that.
Yep. Hey, well, great assessment, man.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Kofi.
Yes, sir.
Kofi Janatua, y'all. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So how did you guys score it? J. Leon Love?
I'm going to go with what I'll go with. I'll say I gave Ward by 1.
Okay, Ward by 1?
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of swing rounds to where it could have went either way, but
I actually agree with Max Kellerman, and the way he said it makes most sense. If you look for every round you could give Ward, he wins 114, 113. If you look for every round you could possibly give Kovalev, he wins 116, 112. But it wasn't like a robbery. You know what I'm saying? I thought Kovalev won, but I also thought, like Jay said, he took rounds off in the middle. You can't take judges for granted. You can't take any of that for granted. Anything can happen. You got to take each round like it's the beginning of the fight.
And I'm hearing from a lot of people as well. They're saying the first 6 rounds, of course, it was all Kovalev, but 2 out of those 6 rounds could have went either way. I know one of them Ward had won for sure. Even Harold Letterman, I think he gave him the 5th round.
It was after the round after the knockdown. The 4th or 5th, yeah.
And then, but you could have given him one more of those rounds, either or. And then in the second half, one of those rounds that maybe Ward got, you could have gave it to Kovalev.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It was so, and then the CompuBox were like razor thin.
Yeah.
Kovalev landed more, but Ward had a higher connect percentage. So.
And even then it goes
around where you gotta look at the round where, hey, follow me on Instagram.
You already said that. You already on the video saying that.
Okay. Make sure y'all.
I got you in there.
Yeah, no, it was. But I feel like nobody was really cheated because it was that good of a fight.
Couldn't be a robbery.
Like you got your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? Could have went either way. Obviously, Andre Ward won, and you get a part 2. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they're negotiating, but I feel like you wasn't cheated. It was a hell of a fight for boxing. That was a hell of a fight.
Absolutely. It propels both of their careers now.
And Kovalev boxing, if he's still underrated as a boxer, then you're not paying attention to all the subtleties.
I can honestly say that I definitely didn't give him the boxing credit he deserved.
It might not
I thought he was a one-punch type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
It might not be what we traditionally think in the United States as boxing. But don't get me wrong, he's definitely boxing. He's moving you into the punches he's setting you up for what he's trying to set you up for. It wasn't just blind big punches he landed, his shots he set up.
Oh, I mean, he was using the jab. He was doing a lot, man. Like I said, Kovalev is really all around. I'm a Dre fan. I'm an Andre Ward fan. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Floyd Mayweather is my top fighter. Andre Ward is the next. He's versatile, man. He's smart, and he went down, got up, and figured out a game plan in his own head to do what he had to do. Obviously, he had a great trainer, great team that helped him push through that. But the way he thought in his thinking process after the knockdown, a lot of people shut down. I mean, he never really lost a fight since he was a kid.
12 years old.
You know what I'm saying? Not only that, man, hasn't been down in years. You know what I'm saying? Just to be at that big stage to go through all that at once.
And to come back from a knockdown and finish stronger than the actual champion?
I've done it. So, yeah, I've done it before. So, at the end of the day, man, shouts out to Andre Ward. Shouts out to both of them for putting on a great fight for boxing.
Absolutely.
Andre Ward, man, I give it to you for jumping up and doing what you got to do. It was a hell of a fight for both of them, for sure. And I can't wait for the rematch, man.
Everybody's saying that in here.
I can't wait for the rematch.
That's what it is. Y'all heard it from J. Leon Love. Anything else, Jay?
Nah, man. Shout out to everybody, all the boxing fans.
All right.
Look out for all the young ones coming up, man. All these young ones coming up. Check them out.
All right, good looking, man. This man, his name is Dante, just like mine. He trains over here at the Mayweather Club. So your reaction? Ward, how did you score the fight?
I gave no more than 4 rounds to Andre Ward. He lost the fight.
You thought he lost the fight?
Sure.
Okay. And what do you think will happen in the rematch?
Maybe in a rematch, Andre Ward now with experience after this fight, he might take a different plan, and he understands that he can beat him with his very pure boxing. In the next fight, I go for Andrew.
Okay. All right, you guys heard it from trainer Dante over here at the Mayweather gym. Anything else? Who are you working with right now?
I give assistant to Eddie Mustafa with Ronald Gabriel.
Oh, okay, you working with Eddie Mustafa?
I give an assistant as a trainer.
Okay. All right, thanks, man.
Welcome.
All right, Ward-Kovalev, your reaction, how did you score it?
Well, you know what? Being a bear, and I think I can consider myself an authority on boxing, but Kovalev left a lot of doubt, because if I knock you down in the second round with my best shot, why did he follow up? He allowed Andre to get back into the fight, you know, and with the great coaching of Virgil willed Andre to win that fight. Andre got hit with a hell of a shot. When he came back to the corner, that's where a great coach comes in at. You know, he became a coach and a motivator. And that was what he needed to have his confidence instead of going down, going up. And that's what Virgil did with Andre. So Virgil won the fight. You know what I'm saying? Virgil won that fight for him.
So you believe also Ward, he showed he wanted it more. He put in more effort when it comes to the second half too, on top of Virgil, you know, doing what he did?
Again, Virgil told him what to do, and Andre followed the instructions. Exactly. He followed the instructions. You know, listen, it was a great fight for the fans. So now the rematch will be another great fight, and the trilogy will be another great fight.
Who has the edge in the rematch?
Andre has the edge in the rematch because I already beat him one time. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what's up.
All right, good stuff, man. Thanks as always. DONTAE'S Boxing Nation over here, my man Depot Greatness, Jerome in the building. What's going on, man? I want to get your reaction to the Ward-Kovalev fight.
Well, the Kovalev fight was a great fight. Him and Andre, oh my God, this was great. And the fight could have went either or. I mean, it was action-packed from the first round to the end, you know what I'm saying? So they didn't rob either one of them. This, matter of fact, the rematch, I would pay top dollar to see the rematch. That's how good the fight. That brought the fight the world back to the way it used to be, with the Frazier and Ali, the war, the real boxing wars, the no politics involved. It was real business. I love that. So stay tuned. It's going to be a 3, and I'm going to be front row when it comes.
You said it's going to be a 3.
And thank you, Dante.
It's all good.
Boxing Nation always #1. We at you.
All right. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Trainer Tony over here at the Mayweather gym. What's your reaction to the Ward versus Kovalev fight? Who do you think won?
Well, as far as I was concerned, Kovalev won. You know, I mean, this is the problem with judges. You know, it's happened so many times, this sort of thing, where there's such a variation in the scores. You know, and it just sickens me when I see it. You know, considering that a guy trained hard for 3 or 4 months, maybe longer, and then it's taken away by the judges. That's why that's an old saying: take it out of the judges' hands every time, and you'll be the winner.
But Tony, in this situation, there was no variation because all 3 judges, they scored the fight the exact same way, 114, 113. So that means they had it razor thin.
Well, like I say, I don't know how they got it. This is a reaction, my reaction, and many other people's reaction, you know. So who's right? The judges? Have those 3 judges been in the ring? Have they ever fought? Do they know what it takes to fight? You see, that's the difference. Other these guys, right hand, are not in the ring. So how would they know? What are they looking at? You know yourself. How many fights have you seen where it's gone the opposite way? And you know full well the other guy won it.
There's been a couple. But this fight, to me, it was so close, I feel it could have went either way. If they would have gave it to Kovalev, I wouldn't have, complained. If they would have had it a draw, I wouldn't have complained. You know, and they gave it to Ward, I didn't complain.
Well, I suppose really it's like everybody sees a fight differently.
Yeah.
You know, so I saw it in that guy's favour, in Kovale's favour, and that's all there is to it, you see.
And that's totally understandable. Nothing wrong with that. Caleb, what's up, man?
What's good?
Give me your reaction, Ward-Kovalev. What did you think?
Man, close fight. I felt like Kovalev had a lot of momentum in the early stages of the fight, you know. But I know that Ward, he stayed focused, he stayed calm, and he definitely rallied. He kept his composure, and he's used to those late rounds, you know. And I think Kovalev kind of faded. Also with Ward, you know, having a good inside attack, good body attack. So it was a close fight. It was a great fight. I think it deserves a rematch. That's up to them and the business, you know, all the business stuff on the backside. But I thought it was a great fight. I had a good time. So yeah, it was a great fight.
So you didn't really say how you scored it. You thought it could have went either way, or what?
Being there in the moment, I felt like it was so close. It would be hard for me to judge, you know. I think if I went back and studied it close, you know, I would probably have a better idea, you know, be better at scoring it.
Yeah, I got you.
That night I was more of a fan, you know, just there enjoying myself with my lady and just, you know, taking it all in and, you know, relaxing and having fun.
Okay, that's what it is. Thanks for your time, man. All right, Boxing Nation over here with King Pepper. What's going on, man?
What's going down?
All right. First thing I want to ask you is give me your reaction to the Ward versus Kovalev fight.
I think the person who was supposed to win won. I like Kovalev, but I believe Ward did what he was supposed to do. Showed the heart of a champion, so I picked Ward anyway. I actually betted on it, so
you bet on it.
Yeah. So I'm a happy customer.
Yeah.
I can't go wrong. So I'm loving it though. I think Ward, he's a champion. I mean Kovalev, I'm not taking nothing from him. He's a good fighter, but at the same time, Ward the truth. And I don't see him getting beat no time soon. So
that's what it is. Anything else on your mind?
I'm just happy, man. I'm supposed to have something either in December 10th or the 17th. Y'all just keep a lookout for me. Follow me on Instagram, The Real King Pepper. And support my boy DONTAE'S. That's one of the best who doing it, man.
Yep.
So
y'all be seeing the heavyweight over here, the TNT heavyweight over here, my man King Pepper, man. We'll see you on the next one, man.
Y'all have a blessing.
All right, man. All right, Marcellus Williams, give me your reaction. Ward-Kovalev, who won? How you score it?
Man, I had it close. It was close. It was a hard, fought-out battle. I'm happy Ward got the decision because I wanted him to win. Kovalev, I felt he was strong early, even with the knockdown and stuff, but it seemed like he took a break. Like he was trying to pace himself for something, and Ward edged out those middle and later rounds, in my opinion. But I know it's 100 people gonna say, "Oh man, you love Andre," you know, whatever, man. But boxing is boxing. It was good for boxing that the fight happened, and it was not a robbery. Everybody said it was a robbery. The definition of robbery in boxing, that fight wasn't it. Yeah. That fight was close. He got it either way. If Kovalev would have won, I wouldn't have been like, damn, man. No, it was like, all right, okay, so it was a good fight. I wait to see the part 2 or maybe Adonis or whoever, you know what I'm saying, for Ward. You know, but right now, he taking a break, gonna see his family. Because you see he fought this time last year and 3 times this year. So now he's gonna take a little break and come back and get to it. But I like the fight, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of controversy around it, but it is what it is. But I felt Ward deserved to win.
There it is. All right, man. Thanks, man.
You had to fight, man. Kovalev merch everywhere.
DONTAE'S Boxing Nation over here. My man Christian representing that money team over here. What's going on, Christian?
Man, the regular man. What's up?
What first of all, You know what? Let's get right into the business, man. Your reaction to Ward versus Kovalev.
I didn't watch the fight, but I tell you this much: I'm hearing speculations, and everything that's coming back is like the kid got robbed. Everyone's saying that the champ got robbed. So I did a little looking into the situation. First off, shouts out to Ward on his big victory. Shouts out to Kovalev on bringing a beautiful, entertainment. Great night of events.
He brought a whole lot of celebrities and everything.
CC, are very, she looked real good. Look-wise and in the ring. Yeah. Shouts out to CC 2-time. Pooh Bear, shouts out to Pooh Bear on his situation, etc. Everyone that had fights that night, that's what's up. But back to what we talking about on the Ward situation, I'm hearing speculation. I did not watch his fight because I dreamed to fight that man one day. I've been, and he knows this, I'm not just saying this to y'all. I spoke to Ward about 5 years ago when he was in that situation. He came here. And when I first met him, I'm not like these other fighters, I'm not no bandwagon. When I first met him, I said I would love to fight him. Just by the way he looked, he carried himself, it is solid. He's bigger than me, solid, plus I know what he is. And I'm not a person that goes looking for easy fights. I know he'll make me a better fighter, and that's what's up. But as far as a fighter as Kovalev, they say that Kovalev's lost. They say he was the champion, am I right?
Yeah, he was the unified champion.
So this is just, I'm about to run y'all down of what have come across me. Okay, first off, in boxing, I have been taught that if you knock a fighter down, you get 2 rounds up. On it.
2-point round.
2 rounds up. So you got to keep, for y'all that don't know, you got to put that into perspective, Slot. Okay, Kovalev got one up. Hold on, bro. Kovalev, that's 1 up for Kovalev on the knockdown. That means that's 2 rounds ahead. This is real law. This is laws of the sport we in. He was champion. That means that gives Kovalev another edge. Okay, he had my champ Ward backpedaling. There's another point. That means that's ringmanship.
They actually went back and forth.
They did go back and forth, but Ward is a defensive fighter.
Yeah.
Ward, he's always, he's defensively moving. Then he targets you, find you, get back to defense. So Kovalev was more coming forward. I seen every time they break him, Kovalev engaged. He engaged. Yes, he's ringmanship. His ringmanship was more active than Ward. Not saying Ward attacked wasn't. When Ward attacked, he was scoring. But I'm saying on the movement level, it was because he's chasing a boxer. That's very hard. If you follow a boxer, that's easy for the boxer. So you have to put that in perspective. So that's 3 things that Kovalev had going for him. Okay, now we got to go to the scoreboard. They say he landed more. He threw
Kovalev.
more. Yeah, Kovalev, he threw more.
He landed more, threw more, but Ward had the higher connect percentage.
There you go. And I heard Ward had harder punching.
Well, no, I mean, they were even. The CompuBox was pretty even. Like you said, Kovalev had a slight edge, but like I said, Ward had a higher connect percentage.
Okay.
So, but it was really like close when it came.
It was really close. No, the fight was close. Period.
No, I'm saying when it came to counterpunch, when it came to CompuBox.
Okay. So that's beautiful. Shouts out to him, man. I mean, he put it off. He did his job. It's up to the officials to do their job. So when people say Ward robbed him, I can't stomach that because they don't understand.
It was too close to be a robbery.
Yes.
Me personally, I could have seen it going either way. If they would have gave it to Kovalev, if they would have gave it to Kovalev, I wouldn't have said it was a robbery.
Yeah, you would have said rematch.
That's why I just don't like when people say it was a robbery.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing. I'm not hearing tough call. I'm not hearing. All I'm seeing is coming up on the feeds and everywhere else is like he robbed him. Am I gonna watch the fight? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not.
But Christian, so you gotta watch the fight. You gotta see because I need to hear what you gotta say. It's on YouTube or I send it to you. But you gotta watch it because I want to see what you think after you watch the whole 12 rounds. Because
I do that for you always. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely, I'm gonna do that. But man, shouts out, he champ now. So if old boy,
and the rematch is
if he feel like that, then the rematch is what he should be pushing for all day. And then more power to him. If he get it, that's what's up. But shouts out to Ward, hell the champion.
That's what it is. What else is on your mind?
Just staying focused on this month. End of this month, I'm letting my hand heal up. But y'all know I broke my hand on boxing. It's healing. I already had surgery on it. It's ready. I got like the end of this month. I'm getting this next month coming up. Just work. That's it. Just
Work,
add
huh?
more work. Everything for the pros now, though.
Everything for the pros.
Everything for the pros now. D, if you see me working with somebody like I usually do, I don't know, it may happen, you know how it may pop, especially if Floyd tell me, oh, get to work. I'm not like, nah, I ain't about to work. You know what I mean? I ain't never told a man no. So at the end of the day, should we just working? Look forward to, you know what I mean, giving you guys amazing shows, man, giving y'all the best. I'm looking forward to everybody that's into this sport we do, into, you know, entertaining you.
The other day, and she said, Mom, no. And I said, what? She said, Mom, wait until he gives you another one. She said, because this one is, no, Mom. Yeah, she wouldn't let me wear it.
Well, because you guys like to wear them, I'm going to make sure you got one for the whole week, all right?
We love our t-shirts.
And I really owe you one because you said you wanted one before.
Black.
So,
You want black as well, right?
I'm going to get you one.
DONTAE'S classic. But when, Dante, when do we get our t-shirts? When?
Okay, well, you already got one.
No, but I can't wear that one.
Why you can't
Because
wear
that's the one that she said is too faded. I've worn it so much.
But you make it look good, though.
Please. She wouldn't let me.
Next week for sure, I got you. So I showed you the video. What did you think about the little video and the response you got from the fans? I made you famous. You was the main person they was talking about in that video.
Wait, you mean the one? You don't mean the one with Floyd, though, right?
The one you and Floyd.
I couldn't.
You was the main person.
I couldn't believe some of the things they were saying, though. I just couldn't believe what they were saying.
But most of them was like, man, Floyd still got it. He got these women on him. They was like, Floyd still got it.
But the thing that really, what it really taught me, and I've been in public life for a long time now, is that people can honestly say whatever they want to say because they know nothing. You know, if they had known that I was a former boxing manager, boxing promoter, and had known Floyd for 100 years, I don't think they would have. I think the comments may have been different.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
They weren't that bad, though. You looking too deep. They weren't that bad.
I don't know.
Well, some of them, they on the internet. Those are internet thugs, you know. They put their bandana around their mouth, you know, and they gangbang on that. That's just the ignorance. We see that all the time.
I couldn't believe it
and then when they meet you in person, they'll be hugging you like, oh, I see you on.
I couldn't believe it.
Nice.
I'm like, I don't believe this. And I was telling Floyd, I said, they were saying all kinds of stuff about us. But of course, you know, he's really used to it. Used to them saying everything about him. So
that's what I'm saying. Me too.
You know, Floyd didn't care one way or the other. But as a woman, I don't know if you saw what I put on there myself.
Oh, you put something on
yes,
there?
I had to.
I gotta go back.
I had to defend myself. I absolutely had to.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back and look.
Oh,
at that.
I had to.
Hey, I gotta ask you guys. Let me start with you since I was talking to you. What was your reaction to the Ward versus Kovalev fight? How did you score it?
I was actually sick.
Yeah.
Oh, you were sick, so you didn't see it?
No.
Oh,
I was in bed coughing and carrying on.
But we've heard all sorts of stuff. You know, I missed it as well because of her. You know, I had to be home because of her.
Well, I hope you got better.
I am, thank God.
This is the first day she's been out. But, you know, one of my dear friends is with Kovalev. Is affiliated with him, and that's Don Turner, who used to
train Holyfield.
Holyfield, right. So he's a very dear friend of mine. So, and that didn't say that I was on one side or the other, but from what I've heard, and of course I was wondering about you too, did you feel that he was robbed?
When a fight...
Can you be, because that's been our debate just based upon the comments, can you be robbed of a fight? Because a lot of the comments were saying, well, he was knocked down, you know, Kovalev knocked Ward down, you know, it's not fair that Ward went on to win. But isn't the point that obviously Ward recovered in such a way that garnered him the win, since from the comments it said that he dominated in the later rounds? Like, to me, you can't win because you didn't knock him out, like you didn't kind of put your best knockout forward, so...
And when you think about it, there should be more pressure on Kovalev, because if you was able to hurt the guy...
That's what I'm saying, why couldn't you finish him?
Yeah. So how are you allowing a guy to get up from a knockdown, come back, rally back, and finish stronger
and get
than the champion did?
You can't do that. And they said it was so close, so I'm just like, I would feel bad if I were Kovalev, only because that means that it's not that Ward wasn't worthy, it's that Kovalev didn't bring his A game.
Absolutely.
Because an A game is going to knock work or whatever.
Maybe he
But
brought
it
it.
just, you know, you can't be mad.
Yeah.
No sour
You
grapes.
can't, and you, like I said, when a fight is extremely close, all three judges had it 114, 113.
Exactly, I
That's
saw
not a
that.
robbery.
No, they were being fair.
Yeah,
Sounds like.
the punch stats were almost identical. Kovalev landed a few more punches, but Ward had a higher connect percentage. So it was.
What can you do?
Yeah, you can't call it a robbery.
Yeah.
Now, like I keep telling everybody in here, you could say it could have went either way. That's fine.
But not a robbery.
But you can't say it was a robbery.
A robbery would have been Canelo, Floyd.
Exactly.
That's a robbery.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
somebody
you.
got their butt whipped, smacked up for all these rounds, and then we were looking around still like, lady, are you blind?
Yeah.
So that would have been a robbery. Anything 113, 114, that is just any man's game. He was just the best man. But it'll be a rematch. I mean, so it's not in everyone's best interest.
Absolutely.
Including my own. I won't get sick. Prayerfully. No sore throat.
And I mean, here I am. One of my dearest friends is in the corner with Kovalev, and my daughter's ill, and of course I have to choose my daughter over boxing. And but from everything that I was hearing, like she said, you know, there's so many others who had not survived his punch, Kovalev's punch. But the fact that Ward was able to says a lot for him. And of course, we didn't see the fight yet because, let me see, we had to be someplace early, remember? Because this is what happens. I had it to see, but believe it or not, when I see a fight at night, guess what? Tell him, Mabel, what happens if I see a fight at night?
Stays up all night. It's
I
like
can't
caffeine.
sleep. I can't sleep.
Will you watch it again, or will you just?
No. If I see a fight at all, if I put Tommy Hearns on, I mean that's my heart. You know, if I put Ali, if I put her dad on, I can't sleep. Any of them.
Yeah.
If I see a fight at night, I can't sleep after that because the fight takes me up, and I'm hyped. And it doesn't matter if I've seen it or not. You know I've seen some of these fights before, and if I put them on, I can't sleep. So I was trying to wait until I didn't have to get up so that we could watch it together, and then, because I like to watch it with her as well. And I think it's great that there's going to be a rematch, and I know you obviously feel that there should be a rematch. Yeah, how quickly do you think they can put that well,
Kathy Duva already said she's looking at March. They said they have a rematch clause.
I should have known there would be.
And Andre Ward already said, if we have a rematch, I'm going to beat him easier because he ain't going to do nothing different. So, but we'll see. And this is good because this builds, I'm sweating like crazy.
And
this
it's good for boxing.
This builds Ward's name.
It does.
Because the rematch is going to be much bigger than the first fight.
Oh, yes.
And that just the fact that they seen someone compete with Ward, because going into this fight, everybody thought Ward was going to blow him out the water. Now, since the fight was so close, that builds up a rematch. And whoever wins that fight becomes propelled to be a superstar in the sport of boxing.
But one of the things that I always say, and I'm sure you've been in my life long enough to know that I'm always going to say this, when you have a great boxer versus a great puncher, the great boxer almost always wins. You probably know that. Because like Jay Leon and I were talking about the other day, Ward has different ways that he can go. You know, I think of it as going down a street. Ward can go down this street and he can take a turn, go down that street. Oh, you know what? Now I think I'll go down this street. If you're basically a puncher,
you're somewhat one-dimensional most of the time.
You're pretty one-dimensional, and even if you're a little bit more than one-dimensional, you're not as multi-dimensional as Andre Ward is.
Not as multi-dimensional.
You're not as multi-dimensional.
Because Kovalev does have dimensions.
Exactly, but they're not. But when you compare them to Andre Ward's, it's going to be less. So I would expect Andre to do better next time. I really would, even better. And again, I'm not surprised at the way it went. And even though, and I love you, Don Turner, I wasn't, you know, necessarily picking any side or anything, you know, because, well, anyway, I want to see the rematch. You want to see the rematch?
Yes.
Well,
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!